Girl, if you can just make these three things, these three habits a norm in your life, you will get so much more out of your hair care routine, especially as a lazy natural. Trust me, I've tried them and they are true. And the best part is there's just three of them. So girl, let me put you on. Jumping straight into it. Number one, have a moisture routine. Do not wait for your hair to be dry before you decide to moisturize it. Now, you don't have to moisturize your hair every single day. I guess it depends on your hair type and your hair porosity or whatever. Like, listen to your hair and know how often you need to moisturize your hair. For me, I only need to moisturize my hair once a week with my current moisture routine, and that's just what works for me. For someone else who might have a higher porosity than me, they may need to moisturize their hair every 3 days, every 4 days, every 2 days. So don't wait until your hair is already thirsty before you go ahead and moisturize it. Have a moisture routine. Trust me, this will help you retain so much length, because when your hair is dry, breakage tends to, increase. But if your hair is constantly moisturized, then your length retention efforts have a higher chance of being successful. So again, do not wait until your hair is completely dry before you moisturize it. Have a moisture routine. Okay. I have a whole video where I did sort of an experiment. I moisturized my hair with a leave-in conditioner and a water-based hair cream, and I checked in for 7 days to see how moisturized my hair was. And at the end of the 7 days, by the seventh day, my hair was actually still moisturized, but I went ahead and still re-moisturize it again, because that is my moisture routine. Once a week, once every 7 days. You can go ahead and check that video out up here. But again, do what works for your hair. I can get away with moisturizing my hair once a week. Some of y'all cannot, okay? Tip number two, switch that hair bonnet to a hair scarf. Trust me, it works, okay? I've always said use your satins when you're going to bed, use your satins when you're indoors. And when I say use your satins, it looks different for different people. Some people use satin bonnets, some people use satin pillowcases, some people use satin scarves, some people use satin do-rags. It's different for everybody, but trust me, abandon the bonnet, pick up a scarf. It does so much better. Or if you don't like the scarf, you can use a do-rag, but most people don't like do-rags, that's why they use scarves. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that you should switch from a bonnet to a scarf is because, first of all, those bonnets be hoarding some heat. They make the head just very, very hot. I tend to skip using a bonnet sometimes because it's just hot. And for a lot of people, I'm sure you can relate, especially throughout this last February. February has been the hottest month ever right now. So like, if heat is what is disturbing you from going to bed with your satin bonnet, switch to a satin scarf. The reason is because a satin scarf is flatter on your head, and so there is less accumulation of heat on your head, right? And another advantage of using a satin scarf, it actually like keeps your hair flat. Your hair doesn't have space to just, dance around, rub together and get frizzy quickly. And so your protective styles tend to last longer if you are consistently sleeping or, just consistently in a satin scarf. Another good thing about it is, of course, it is satin. And so your moisture retention will also still be, through the roof, because satin does not absorb as much moisture as things like cotton that you probably use for your bed sheet and your pillowcase. It will keep the moisture in your hair there for much longer. It helps with moisture retention. And so if normally when you were not sleeping with anything, your moisture was lasting for like 2 days, it's possible that with a satin scarf, the moisture will last longer. Now, it's actually true for any satin product, whether it's a satin scarf or a satin bonnet. But the fact that it is a satin scarf, yes, it does have that moisture retention property. But remember the extra pros, right? The fact that it causes less heat on your head, and the fact that it will keep your hairstyles neater for longer, meaning that a style that you would have kept for 2 weeks, you can keep it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and all that time, because your hair is moisturized, because you have a moisture routine, you are retaining length, like retaining good length. So by the time you take down your hairstyle and you stretch your hair, you can see a little bit of difference, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, make the switch, okay? Skip the bonnet, switch to a scarf. Thank me later. Habit number 3, incorporate haircare tools into your routine. Now look, I get it. As lazy naturals, we tend to want to keep things as simple as possible, and tools might seem like, extra stuff. But the truth is, some of these tools can actually make your routine simpler and easier. For example, a heat cap. When you use a heat cap during deep conditioning or a protein treatment, the treatment that would have sat in your hair for 40 minutes to an hour only then needs to sit in your hair for like 15 to 20 minutes when you use a heat cap, because heat opens your cuticles up and allows these products to, penetrate a lot faster and a lot deeper. So it actually has more benefits. Like, it's more beneficial than just wrapping your head in a shower cap and walking around or lying down or waiting for the whole stuff to process for 40 minutes to an hour. The heat cap literally cuts that time in half, even less than half sometimes, okay? A lot of times when I'm in a hurry to, do my wash day, I would literally just put in my deep conditioner, put on a heat cap, sit down for like 10 minutes, maybe read a book, press my phone, do something, right? And then in 10 minutes, my hair just already feels softer, just feels done, right? And that's 10 minutes versus the 30-40 minutes I would have sat if I didn't use a heat cap. A heat cap is a hair care tool and it makes your routine shorter and simpler. So of course, get it. Another example is the microfiber towel. I used to be like, a microfiber towel isn't necessary until I saw this cute microfiber hood in the supermarket one time and I said, okay, let me just try, let me get it. Girl, when I used this microfiber hood, I understood the hype. I finally got it. I wrapped my hair, and this isn't even twist. Like, I didn't wash my hair in twist. I washed my hair all big and out in an afro. And I wrapped it for literally 5 minutes. And then I unwrapped it, and it was like my hair has been air drying for 2 hours. The way it sucks the moisture out of your hair. After 5 minutes, you can move on to the next step of your routine. That is crazy. So it saves you time, makes your wash day shorter. It helps, okay? Now don't get me wrong, there are some tools I cannot justify, like the scalp massager. That just wastes time. All the times I've tried to wash my hair with a scalp massager, I ended up throwing the scalp massager one side and just using my fingers. Like, some people might even lash out for this, but sometimes I feel like the white tooth comb safe. Necessary there. I can count the number of wash days in the last 2 years that I actually use the white tooth comb on my hair. Yeah, I like to just finger detangle. Like, your fingers, they're very efficient tools, in case you didn't know. But for tools that directly affect your routines and make them, shorter and more efficient or more effective, I back you on those. Things like the heat cap, things like the microfiber towel, go ahead, do that. For people who love to wash their hair in sections, you can also get like sectioning clips and all those kind of things. Anything that makes your routine easier to do, that makes it simpler, that saves time, go ahead and get it and incorporate it into your routine, okay? Especially as a lazy natural. What you would have done in 40 minutes, you can do it in 15 minutes. Why not get that? Like, it helps. It even helps you as a lazy person. You spend less time on your routine, Abby. Now, I understand that not everybody has that extra disposable income to spend on hair care tools. And so I actually did a video some time ago about hair care tools and their alternatives. Like, things around your house that you can use in place of these tools that still deliver almost the same effect. It may not deliver exactly the same, but it's close enough, okay? So I've linked that video up here and it's also going to be in the end card, so make sure you look out for that. If you turn these points that I just shared into habits, girl, all you gotta do is sit back and watch as you retain more length with less effort. Thank you so much for watching. For that 7-day moisture routine experiment that I did, click here. And if you want to watch the alternatives to hair care tools, check here. I also have a library of hair care resources, including a hair growth guide, an edges regrowth guide, and a hair growth tracker. So make sure that you go and check those out right here at this bottom corner. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.